welcome back to another episode of Tamu Chronicles No Chaser. Saying the quiet parts out loud with sarcasm and a lot of attitude. Daily, the long way. So listen, I know I get on here and I yell and I curse and I fuss. But it's all meant to inspire you to be more of you, of who you are, to inspire you to live the life that you want to live in the most healthy and balanced way. In this episode, I'm not going to do a whole lot of fussing, but we are going to have a conversation around, have you ever heard the phrase, act your age, or dress for your age? The way that you speak in a way so that people know your age. When you talk, people should know how many birthdays that you've had. Are you raising your hand? Have you heard those phrases? I have, and I still do. Not directed towards me, but I still hear those phrases floating around the earth. Okay. Now, when I was younger, actually, when I say younger, I was an adult, but a much younger adult than I am now. And I would hear that. And I would hear it directed more toward women. And that's what I gathered. That's what I observed. And you would hear people say, well, women should dress according to their age. Or, women should act their age. And I just used to always wonder, well, what does that? Acting your age, dress for your age. What the fuck does that actually mean? And I can say now, at 49, that question, you determine what that question means for you. No one can tell you how you should dress according to your age. No one can define that for you. People will try. And if you don't have that defined for yourself, people will give you a definition. They will give you something to live by. They will give you a script to live by. They will tell you what your closet should look like if I'll just use my age, if you're 49 years of age. They will tell you, well, your closet should look like this. You should be wearing these colors. You should act this way. You should talk this way. You shouldn't curse. People will tell you that if you don't have that defined for yourself. So you have to define what that means to you. So for me, I'll tell you what it means for me when someone says act your age. For me, that means for me to be fully confident in who I am and to act that way. To me, acting your age means speaking up for what you need and want. And not putting yourself in a box because people have put themselves in a box and they want you to join them. That's what that means to me. Acting your age means to me being open to every possibility, to all the possibilities, being open to the fact that there are infinite possibilities that you can't see, possibilities that can happen for you, that can open up doors for you, that can open up avenues for you that you haven't even considered, avenues that bring you and help you create the life that you desire. And speaking about yourself and your life in that way, not with limitation. That's what acting my age means to me. Acting my age means to me is not conforming to an environment. What do I mean by that? If I walk in and I'm happy, I'm joyful, and I see frowns on people's faces, that means acting my age means, okay, do I want to remain in this environment? And if I'm going to remain in this environment, am I still going to present and express with joy and happiness? Or am I going to tell myself, oh, you know what, I can't act this way because I see people in here are not as happy as I am, so therefore I'm going to shield my happiness from them. I get to make that choice, those choices, because that is what acting my age means to me. Speaking of choices, acting my age means that I get to make choices for myself. Acting my age means that I get to switch up, that I get to change. If I don't like something, I don't have to keep doing it. If there's a relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, if it's a relationship that I don't want to be a part of anymore, I can change it, because that is what acting my age means to me. Dressing for your age. Let's talk about that for a second. Again, that is something that you have to define for yourself. This was a while back. I saw, it was a video of some very gorgeous bombshell women. It was two women. I believe at the time they were in their either late 40s, early 50s, but they were around my age, close to my age. And they were shapely women, hips, thighs, just voluptuous women, okay? And they walked out of their wherever it was, and they both had on a shirt of some sort and some shorts. Really, shorts. To me, when you say shorts, it's shorts. You see legs, you see thighs, okay? That's what shorts are, right? And they had on heels. And you know, when you have on something short, whether it's shorts or a short dress, short skirt, you put on heels, it defines the leg. It does something to the thighs, okay? Which is why I love wearing short things. But anyway, I digress. So they did a video where they were walking out of wherever they were, had on their fit, had on the shirt, had on the short shorts with the heels. And then they paused and they said, if we wanted to dress like this, we could. And then the video transitions, and you now see the women, instead of the shorts, they have on pants. And then they look into the camera and they say, but we want to dress for our age. Now, I thought, well, there was nothing wrong with what they had on. Nothing that I didn't see anything wrong. They looked good. They looked good, okay? They looked good. You could tell they were taking care of themselves. They were proud of their bodies. They looked good. But for them, perhaps dressing their age means to be covered up more. I don't know, but I'm using that as an example to show you have to define that for yourself. Dressing, to me, dressing your age or for your age means that you dress in a way where you are fully expressed. You're dressed in a way that not defines, but feeds who you are as a person, feeds who you are as a woman. For me, like I said, I still wear short dresses. I wear shorts, and not long shorts. I wear shorts. Shorts are shorts. I love my legs. I love how my body looks. I love how toned my legs are. I wear them with heels. I do that for me. Because I like to wear that, I am dressing for my age. My age right now says I still want to dress like that. My age right now still says that I love print. My age right now still says I love wearing loud colors, because that speaks to the artist in me. I don't like to dress subdued. I don't like a whole bunch of clothes. I have no problem wearing a low-cut dress. I have no problem with cleavage. For me, that is dressing my age, because I am fully expressed in me, in who I am. And I do that for me. So, dressing for your age, acting your age, how do you define that? And this is why it's so important, if you're younger and you're watching this is why it is so important to know who you are and to appreciate who you are. Because if you don't, people will define you for you. Because it's very easy to spot out an individual who does not know themselves. It's very easy to spot a person who is not confident in who they are. I don't care what age you are. So, let me know what you feel about this episode. Let me know how this episode inspired you, because I know it did. Okay. And we'll be back. Probably in the next episode, I'll be back to yelling and cursing again.